welcome back to tub.o. This is a new segment we like to call tub.o Rewind.
Tub.o Rewind. Can't beat it.
Want to tell the the adoring fans out there what it's about?
Well, it's just we take a movie that came out a certain many years ago, we go back and see if it still holds up today. And whether it be 5 years ago, 10, 15, 20, whatever, we just check it out. Just various movies, different genres, and we just compare it and see how it holds up today. Today, Terry, what are we're looking at?
I thought we might look at Ghostbusters too. What do you think about that?
Oh, that's an old classic movie, 1989, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe that's correct.
And a sequel, of course.
Yes, it was.
Sequels aren't very popular.
No, they're not.
This one's had mixed reviews over the years. Some people like it, some people hate it. It just depends. I think the younger generation love it. The older generation who've never seen it, when they were a little older, probably don't like it as much.
Yeah, probably not.
So, Terry, how do you want to do this review?
We can go over what are the good points to us, and what are the bad points to us.
Okay, I'll let you start.
And we want to remind our viewers of, as always, this is just opinion based. These are our opinions. Feel free to let us know what your opinions are in the comments below.
And Bill Murray did not pay us for this at all.
No.
No money from Bill Murray at all. But he could send us some if he liked.
Yeah, if he wants to.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yes, please do. No. All right. Well, one of my things that I really did enjoy about it, we'll start off with the positives, was, number one, hey, it's Ghostbusters. I love the Ghostbusters. I thought, when I was a kid, I just loved these guys, and it's kind of stuck with me through my adulthood. And I also actually have the Xbox 360 game and everything. I love that game. I love the first one. I like the cartoon. And I like the Ghostbusters.
It's not a valid argument, but I can see your point. You're like the Ghostbusters franchise.
Exactly.
If I put a turd in a box and put a Ghostbuster sticker on it, doesn't mean it's going to be good.
Nah, fair point.
So you can't say it's all good just because it's Ghostbusters. But I understand your point. You're excited. You want to see the Ghostbusters. I can understand that. That's cool. One thing I liked about it was the sequel with the original cast.
Very good.
Virtually the entire cast from the first Ghostbusters movie. The Ghostbusters, the Harold Ramis character, Janine, all the same people. Louis Tully is his character, yeah. Sigourney Weaver's character, all of the same cast members. I was really impressed with that. A lot of times sequels, you don't get that. You get somebody that looks like them, but not quite them. Like you might get Bill Murray's brother, and playing Bill Murray's part, Yeah. So at least you had the same cast. I did like that, so that was kind of nice.
That was a good part. I liked the dancing toaster scenes. I thought that was cool. Don't know why, just like it.
Somebody liked it, so they put it in. Really, you and probably Dan Aykroyd were like two that probably liked it. I'm sure it's a good thing though. It's a good thing. It's not. It was cute. One of the things another thing I liked about it was the story was very simple. Basically, the same story as the first movie. You made them the underdogs. They fought through, and they come out and topped. Very simple story. I think a lot of kids, because I think the Ghostbuster cartoon was real big then. So they just capitalized on that. Just wrote a quick story. So it was really good, really nice for the kids. Good family movie. No nudity, no heavy violence or gore. So it was a good kid movie. I think you could probably show it to your kids now.
Yeah, probably.
And it's not a bad movie.
And I did like the guy that played Dr. Boa. I don't remember his name.
I know you're talking about, he was a very good actor. I think he was in Dragon Slayer back in the 80s. Good movie with Disney. I really liked him. Funny guy.
And it did a really funny portrayal of this guy in this movie. One of the few funny parts of this movie, sadly.
Sadly? You said sadly?
Well, Ghostbusters is supposed to be funny.
Wow. I did like the souped up version, maybe like a better version of the Ecto-1.
That is cool. I like that. I thought that was corny,
nice.
but good.
It was nice they did that. So that was kind of nice. And I liked the part that they brought in different ghosts when all the ghosts were coming back to New York, like the Titanic boarded. Yeah. That was kind of, I liked that.
That was neat.
That was some neat stuff. But, well, Terry, you still got any more positives you'd like to talk about, or?
Not too many, you.
I'm done with the positives. I was 17 when I saw the movie, so.
Yeah.
I remember how disappointed I was when I watched it. So go ahead, Terry. We're up to you.
Well, I got no more positives either. You want to start on the negatives?
Sure. First negative was Slimer. I think the only reason they put him in there was because of the Ghostbuster cartoon. I really wish I knew what he looked like as a human, because all the other ghosts in the movie, you could tell what they looked like as a human, except for him. Just really weird. He was also driving a bus. I don't know how he did that with no feet. But
that's a good point.
Yeah, I digress. Go ahead, Terry.
Well, I always thought, I didn't think that any of the jokes were, I didn't think it was funny as first one.
Oh yeah, I can definitely
agree. That's a big problem when you're doing a comedy.
Yeah, that's nothing worse. I've seen dramas that aren't dramatic. I've seen horror movies that aren't scary. But there's nothing worse than a comedy that's not funny. It's just...
And I just really, really, really had that really, really bothered me about this movie. It tried, I think, a little bit in some places,
I think I agree. Yeah, it was not funny. You had four of the funniest people in show business at the time: Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, Harold Ramis, Rick Moranis. And the jokes just, to me, felt flat, and just, it seemed like this. Even though it was a family movie, it seemed like the same old story from the first one. The mayor still didn't want to believe them. Nobody wanted to listen to them, even after they almost had the city destroyed last time with the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man.
And they basically got sued, I think, in this.
Yeah, nobody wanted to believe them. Yeah, so just really awful. Cheap rides, really just cheap and lazy, in my opinion.
Well, my understanding of it was, I looked it up before we came, and I wanted to just get a little background reading. Mm-hmm. And my understanding was that Harold was coming from Wikipedia. Great site, by the way. Basically, that Harold Ramis and didn't want to do another Ghostbusters movie. They had closed it out, mm-hmm. and felt like it was closer to the first Ghostbusters movie. But eventually agreed to it, so that might be part of it.
It was just a rushed out thing. They didn't
probably, yeah. Good possibility.
Yeah, I can believe it. I watched the movie. I can definitely believe it was really lazy on that part.
Now, I wasn't a big fan of the effects.
Yeah, the effects were really dated. Even compared to the first movie, I thought the effects were really good, or better than the second. The second looked really cheap. It's like they cheapened it up a lot. Especially these Statue of Liberty scenes.
Yeah.
Close-ups of the feet looked really awful. Looked like styrofoam in sections. It just looked really bad.
Let's talk about that. Statue of Liberty scene. That sticks out in my mind from when I was a kid.
It should. It was a really horrible scene. Just in general. I don't know when they sent the statue over here to America, but apparently they made the statue with full legs and then put a dress over top of it because it was horrible.
Well, the French were thinking that far in advance, right?
Apparently so. It's just a horrible, horrible design for the character. I wish they would have just left the Statue of Liberty alone and not used it at all and just come up with something else, but it just looked bad. And the NES Advantage controller.
Well, you gotta throw in the plugs for the sponsors.
And another thing I hated, but you didn't mention yet, which I don't know if you're gonna mention or not, the soundtrack for Ghostbusters 2. Ghostbusters 1 had that wonderful Ray Parker Jr. song to it. It even had some other songs that was on the soundtrack. The second one, your biggest song was by Bobby Brown. Just wasn't feeling the same way. Wasn't feeling the same vibe off of it. I just wasn't hitting me at all. I just in general, just pretty much everything. The writing, the special effects, the music, just the jokes, everything fell flat.
Well, what about the villain?
I'm not a big fan of Vigo. I thought his idea of reincarnating himself into a baby was really even horrible. He could have come back into the Curator.
Yeah. And
probably would have gotten away with a lot more.
Well, I always figured they probably wanted to do a scene where he was like, I won't take a little well. I tried to change my diaper.
That's just when Jay's diaper. Yeah, just horrible. But, like I said, they had to work Sigourney Weaver's character back into it for some reason, so Bill Murray could hit on her. So
I thought that was a really forced relationship on this one. Yeah, it didn't look like either one of them were really interested in it.
My question is, what did Bill Murray's character have to do with psychics? He loves psychic ability and using people using psychics. Remember, he had that show for psychics in the second one. Yeah. Then in the first one, testing your psychic ability with the power charges. You electric charge if you miss one. Really weird. He always had the psychic thing he liked messing with. I thought that was kind of
Yeah, it's something I haven't noticed, but that's a good thought.
Yeah. All in all, generally though, I just, sequels go, with the exception of Superman, Star Wars, New Hope to Empire Strikes Back, The Godfather 1 and 2, sequels just usually aren't really good and are usually more cheaper and just, I don't know, just in general. Yeah, it just make something new. Don't just do a sequel. Sometimes it's just better just to leave it alone and go somewhere else.
And then they didn't throw in Walter Peck. What's up with that?
Yeah, like Walter Peck, apparently he got fired. I have no idea what happened to him, but
he's in the game.
Yeah, he's in the game. And now is the game a prequel to the movie, or in between first and 1 and 2?
It's actually what happens after 2.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. I had no idea. Never played it.
It's a fun play. It's neat. It's I think it's got pretty good controls.
Mm-hmm.
You actually have to you have to upgrade your proton pack. You have to upgrade. They'll give you all the stuff you need that's necessary for the game, but you have to upgrade it to get better results.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, all in all, from 1 star being really poor to 5 stars, what would you rank Ghostbusters 2?
Maybe about 2 or 3.
Well, that's pretty high. Pretty high. I would say 1.5.
Wow.
I haven't seen the movie in years, but the last time I saw it was maybe like 5 or 10 years ago. It just didn't hold up for me well then. I might want to go back and give it another shot and look at it again, but from what I remember, just an awful movie. Really bad. Like I said, I'd rather watch Jaws 4.
Still to me, not a great movie. Loved Ghostbusters a lot more. Like I said, the main reason I like this was because it was Ghostbusters. And like Ron said, that's really not a valid argument.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's interesting. I'm sure you watched the cartoon.
Yes.
So you probably was a big fan of the cartoon. Expected that cartoon feel, or the feel from the original movie into the second one, just didn't translate.
No, it didn't.
Yeah, and that's fine. I mean, it happens a lot.
Yeah, I know. And like I told you on the video game, it felt a little bit more, to me, more like the original. They went back to the Cedric Hotel. Mm-hmm. They fought the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man again. They were doing stuff probably they should have
done the second movie.
Probably should have done the second movie. They talked more about the story of Gozer the Gozerian, and went into and it was this whole stage where you go to you go in Ghost World, and it's the architect from the first movie. Can't remember his name right off the top of my head, and I call myself a Ghostbusters fan. Oh my goodness. I can't remember it off the top of my head. I'm sure you guys can throw it in the comments below. Sorry.
Caught him off guard there.
But yeah, it was bad. To me, I like that better than I did the second movie. So that's pretty bad having to compare a video game to a movie. So.
Well, you did compare it, so we appreciate your time checking out the videos. Check out more. I'm Ron.
I'm Terry.
And we'll see you guys next time.